In 2021, we got the nice surprise hit Nobody, where Bob Oedenkirk traded in the cheap Saul Goodman suits for some heavy weaponry as an unassuming, seemingly beta dad who secretly was an elite killing machine. Now with Nobody 2, does this sequel prove why we can't have nice things, or does it improve on the original? Find out in this episode of Movies Merica Live.
In a world where the number of movies available is great, but many are so bad, you'll learn a new definition of hate. One man sifts and reviews through the movie sludge. One man will be the movie cop, jury, and judge. He goes by many names, but you know him by Movies Merica.
All right, everybody. Hey, welcome again to this latest episode of Movies Merica Live. As always, I am your humble host, Van Eberts here, a.k.a. Movies Merica. And yes, as you can tell from the top of the show, we are going to be talking about the new Bob Oedenkirk, a.k.a. Saul Goodman movie, Nobody 2, okay? Because Nobody was a hit back in 2021, and so with that, there inevitably was going to be the pinings from the studio, in this case, Universal Studios, for a sequel to Nobody. And so, like I said before, I was kind of hinting at it, does this sequel to Nobody, does it prove why we can't have nice things, or does it improve on the original? Okay, and I will get into that in more detail here in just a few here. So, but real quick here, before I get into any of that right there, I just want to welcome my movie maniacs and my fellow freedom-fueled film fanatics up in here, all right? So I appreciate you guys joining the show. And if you can handle it, all right, if you're up for it, feel free to not just watch the show, but get in the live chat, okay? And, live chat's there for you to at least, put up a thumbs up or a hi, or man, you suck, which I love those. And hey, what a great opportunity for you right there. If you're having a bad day, the old lady's on your ass about the honey-do list, or your boss is, got his boot on your throat. You're like, man, I really want to let somebody else have it so I can so I can get my testosterone back. All right. Hey, here's this chump with this movie show. Let me get in the live chat and just torture this poor sap. Okay. Hey, there you go. Let me be your victim. So no, but I guess maybe that's really what live chat is for. No, it's not. So, but the live chat is for you and me to communicate with each other during the show, all about all kinds of good stuff. Right there. And matter of fact, I think we have some business in the live chat right there. And yes, we do. My man Beyond Formal is joining me in the live chat right here. And he says that the first movie of Nobody there, man, I had a senior moment there. I couldn't remember what movie we were talking about there. Was great. And yeah, he's right about that. I mean, this movie, or the original Nobody that came out in 2021 in the height of COVID, it was a nice surprise there, and I was intrigued because I knew that, I've always known Bob Oedenkirk from Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, and then way before that, he was in Mr. Show. It was a comedy variety show on HBO there with David Cross. And if you've never seen Mr. Show, definitely check out Mr. Show. He was like on How I Met Your Mother. There as a recurring character, but so then when this movie came out, where he's like, "Whoa, this guy's like a secret agent badass," where he's kicking ass and taking names and all that stuff. Like, wow, okay, I'm intrigued. Yeah, let me check out Saul Goodman kicking ass and chewing bubble gum in this movie right there, and then. Beyond Formal goes on to say that he watched Thunderbolts and enjoyed it. So, yeah, I didn't hate it. I I thought it was better than a lot of the dreck that the MCU has come out with here recently, right there. But that's a low bar. I mean, it's a sad state of affairs for the MCU compared to the masterpieces, the true arts. Well, let's go a little above, a little higher than I should. The great movies that they're coming out with, that they were coming out with from 2008 to 2019. They're started with Iron Man all the way through Avengers Endgame, and then after that, they just started crap in the bed, and so. Compared to the cinematic turds that they were coming out with in phases 4 and 5, Thunderbolts is not bad if you compare it to those turds right there. So that's a quintessential backhanded compliment for Thunderbolts right there. And hey, we got Liberated podcast up in here in the live chat there as well, saying sup. Good to see you, Liberated podcast. Up in here. So, and hey, if you guys would do me a favor, let me know if the video is coming through just fine, if my picture is coming through just fine, because I noticed when I was watching the last 2 weeks of these episodes here, I noticed that my video has been zigging when it should be zagging. It's been slipping on a banana peel, and I get some lag and all that stuff. But hopefully it's coming through just fine. You guys can hear me just fine here on this episode of Movies Merica Live right there. So, and hey, feel free to forward the link to the show to anybody that you even remotely suspect is into movies and or would appreciate a heads up on whether or not Nobody 2 sucks or if it rules. Okay, there. And to that end here, let's get into more Nobody 2. And Nobody 2, I think I should have taken this as the first warning about how this movie was going to be. It's directed by some no-name. Okay. I saw who was directing this, who? All right. And sometimes, the no-name turns out to be somebody great, right? I mean, hey, who knew who Steven Spielberg was when Jaws came out in 75, except for, some movie nerds, right? They probably knew he directed that TV movie Duel. So that's who's directing Jaws. Oh, fantastic. But all your normies back in 1975 when they saw Jaws, and of course, in 1975 when they, of course, would jump onto IMDb because of the awesome internet that we had in 1975. And they saw the director was Steven Spielberg. Yeah, the normies back, they were like, Steven who? I have no idea who that is. So sometimes a no-name director, it can turn out to be pretty damn great here, like in that instance right there. In this case, though, sadly, the no-name deserves to remain a no-name, okay? This movie is not good, all right? This movie is just there's a checkbox we have to check, and that checkbox is create a sequel for Nobody, and all right, box checked. Now, I didn't say that we checked that box in a excellent fashion. I didn't say that we did it in style or did it in a skillful way. No, we just checked the box. So technically, there is a sequel to Nobody. Does it suck donkey balls? Of course. But that box remains checked right there, okay? And, of course, in this movie, you do have Bob Odenkirk playing the main character of Hutch Mansell. And in this one, after the events of the first movie, his wife, his kids, they're well aware that, okay, he's like this, this killer secret agent going on missions and stuff, and it's taking a toll on his family. He's basically right back where he was at the beginning of the first movie there, so they basically just rehashed that there where, his wife is disappointed in more ways than one. His kids barely know him, so he's a terrible husband, a terrible dad. And this time he's like, you know what? Things are dragging on. We relapse back to where we were before, where I'm a terrible husband, a terrible dad. Let's go on vacation. What do you say? So he, Hutch Mansell, he pulls old Clark Griswold, right? And he basically says he's going to plan a vacation for the family, but instead of planning a trip to Wally World, he plans a trip to this crappy, cruddy, decrepit amusement park town called Plummerville. all right, that he went to as a kid, and his dad took him to as a kid there. And so they go to this crappy amusement park. Again, this is all in the trailer. You know, they think they're going to have a good time or eat some funnel cakes, some mini donuts, go down some water slides, ride some roller coasters. Whee! Have some good family fun and make some memories, right? And then some bad guys, or, you know, some crap goes down. You know, they encounter the wrong people. You know, the wrong people get in their face. And Hutch and his son, you know, they mix it up with them, and it turns out like this, you know, it's of course, it's like the Die Hard movies. Like, how is it that John McClane always finds, you know, himself in these over the top, like violent situations? Like, well, how is it that Hutch Mansell and his family always find themselves in this situation? They go to the one town with an amusement park and a water park and all that stuff that turns out to be like, you know, part of some criminal underground. Okay. But so that all goes down. And then of course that leads to all the, you know, the action that you see in the trailers for this movie. And that's it. And I'm not going to go into any more of the plot than that. It's just not that great there as well. So, but there we go. Yeah, but yeah. Okay. Yeah. So Liberated Podcast. Thank you for the input right there. So you sound great. Thank you. But it might be his screen, but it's kind of glitching. There we go. So there we go. Yeah, hopefully, like sometimes, yeah, with my live streaming software right here, just kind of like the video's not that great, but I'm sure that's there we go. And yeah, we've got mowing updates here in the live chat right there. And yeah, I know it's that season. It's that season right here, and I appreciate you guys checking me out. Even though, you know, you guys have got mowing to do there. So, yep. And it's, you know, hey, you know what? Duty calls. All right. That lawn ain't going to mow itself. That's for sure. All right. So, but real quick here, I'm going to take a tug off my beer ski over here. And that gives me a chance to tease the fact that I'm going to be reviewing this brew here a little later on in brew review time. So, here we go. Oh, yeah. There you go. So, and Beyond Formal, hey, you said you saw Thunderbolts. Like, what did you think of Julia Louis-Dreyfus's character? She was like I don't know, she was a senator or a congresswoman or something like that. You know, if you're still watching here, like, I just thought she was annoying. And I'm like, how in that movie Thunderbolts do they give her that much power? Or she has power over these superheroes. I don't. It's just, I don't know. It's just wasn't the movie just annoyed me in so many ways. But again, you know, not as bad as something like Eternals or Black Widow or I mean, I like a movie that I thought had an equivalent quality to Thunderbolts is like Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. That movie I didn't think was so bad. It's not a movie I would watch again. But it's a movie that didn't make me want to stab my eyes out with a fork while I was watching the movie. Now, that's a bit extra, but anyway, you get my point. All right, well, we're here to talk about Nobody 2 there, regrettably. So they just couldn't leave well enough alone is a common phrase we've all heard. You know, had to go and ruin a good thing is another phrase we've all heard. And Nobody 2 is the cinematic representation of these two phrases here. You know, since the first one was a hit, you knew Universal was going to be on some butts to get a sequel made. And I don't know if the creators of Nobody 2 purposely made a steaming turd on purpose so it would suck and no one would go see it to ensure that they're not asked ever again to do another Nobody movie, or they just half-assed everything, phoned in their effort because they just pure lacked excitement about making this movie here. Neither possibility is good, though, right? You didn't hear either of those and go, oh, that's a promising possibility. That's a good possibility. No, you did not think that there. And so, again, neither possibility is good, and neither is this movie. Most of the acting is embarrassingly. Can we suppress this movie from my IMDb? Bad, okay? And the main guilty party of this is the hag that is Sharon Stone as the main baddie. Now, my basic instinct is to despise this barely was and decrepit has-been. Why? Well, she belongs in the Hall of Shame of celebrity arrogance. Exhibit A is this.
I think we have to really stop and think about things. And we have to stop and think about who we choose for government. And if, in fact, we are actually choosing our government, or if the government is choosing itself. My country is in its adolescence. Adolescence is very arrogant. Adolescence thinks it knows everything. Adolescence is naive and ignorant and arrogant. And we are in our ignorant, arrogant adolescence. We haven't seen this before in our country. So Americans who don't travel, who 80% don't have a passport, who are uneducated, are in their extraordinary naivete.
What a nice lady, right, man? She just couldn't be nicer. I mean, isn't that someone that you want to hang out with right there, okay? I mean, she's too stupid, literally, to know how stupid she is. Like, you have to have a passport to know that it's probably not a good idea to let just anybody into your country and then let the evil ones we let in prey on the American citizens you pay your government to protect. You know, it's kind of like, you know, do you just let anybody into your house? You know, do you like leave your doors unlocked at nights? Do you like go out on your porch and go, hey, all you people, get on in here? Oh yeah, especially you with the chainsaw and the blood dripping off you. Yeah, get on in here. We're just gonna let anybody on in. Like, is that a really good idea? No, it is not. So, and America is like your house right there. Okay. And again, also, I don't have to travel to Italy to know that whole thing is an idiotic idea. All right. And she's talking about like people who aren't educated. I don't have to have a 4-year degree to know you shouldn't have dudes who feel pretty steal sports away from actual, real biological women. All right. So, I don't, you know, I don't need to have I don't need to go to grad school to know that it's a bad idea to have somebody with an Adam's apple and, you know, 22-inch pythons go in there and put a dress on or put a bikini on and say, you know, I'm a woman now and I'm going to be on your daughter's swim team and I'm going to take every gold. Like, yeah, I don't have to have a high education, you know, to know that right there. So, and that's the kind of stuff that Sharon Stone in her political worldview, she's for letting anybody and everybody in, you know, like who cares about if American citizens get harmed at all? She doesn't care. She's got security around her 24/7. All right. She doesn't care about, dudes who feel pretty, playing women's sports and stealing women's sports leagues away from them. Yeah, she probably does. I don't know if she has kids. Her kids are, and if she does, her kids are, they're probably either trans themselves or they're way older than the age where they would be in any children's or scholastic athletic competitions or anything like that. So you know what? I've got a lot more of that in my arsenal, but that's a whole different show. So I kind of went off on a side tangent right there. So, and Stone, she can't even perform a by the numbers, over the top, hamming up baddie correctly. I mean, she overdoes it, and it just reeks of try hard, as if she knows that she's universally loathed, and she is, and she's projecting it out through her performance. Now, her co-stars aren't much better than her. Okay, we've got Connie Nielsen and the RZA. They are the acting equivalent of cardboard cutouts. And I'd throw Christopher Lloyd in there, but come on, guys. Christopher Lloyd, man, he's a legend. I mean, a very old legend, and it shows. But by God, man, he was Doc Brown, all right? And soon, where he's going, unfortunately, he won't need roads, all right? So I am going to take it easy on Christopher Lloyd, with my criticism of the acting and all that. And hey, thanks, Liberator Podcast, for sharing the stream link to this episode here in your Discord there. So, and yeah, check out, we got Beyond Formal there on Rumble. Check out Beyond Formal on Rumble there in Liberator Podcast there. I'm sure we can look you up there in Rumble as well, since you were nice enough to be in a live chat here and also to share the stream link in my Discord right there. Absolutely. So, okay, let's do this right here and let's make sure we handle our business here. And one part of handling the business, is to let you guys know all about the like button that is down there. Okay, no, not my crotch. It's down below, like in the show right there, okay? I'm not that kind of pervy kind of guy right now. Anyway, so yeah, hit the like button down there if you would be so kind. And then also, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe or follow button, again, down there, all right, in the show. On whatever platform you are checking the show out on, or whether it be Rumble or YouTube there, or if you're watching this on X later on, hey, feel free to, if you would, please follow me on my X account that you're watching this on, the Movies Merica X account. That'd be fantastic right there. Or you might be watching it on some other X account, but then if you would go to my Movies Merica X account and just hit the old follow there, and I will follow you back right there. So it's only fair. It's only fair. And then also there's a notification bell button down there as well. And when you click on that, it'll just notify you of a piping hot, steaming, fresh new episode of Movies Merica coming out of the oven there for you. And then to my folks that aren't watching live, if you're watching the recording of this, well, hey, first off, thanks for watching. I appreciate that. And you know what? We can still communicate with each other. We're just going to have to do it via the comments section down below there. And yeah, put whatever comment you want down there. By all means, go crazy. Go nuts there. All right. So, okay. So let me do this here real quick here, and I'm going to get another tug off my beer here. So, and again, hey, whatever you guys are drinking, hey, toss them back. Excelente right there. Let's check out. Make sure I got everything in order here, and looks like we definitely do here. Okay, excellent. So, all right. So, hey, and if you're in the live chat, and you hate Sharon Stone just as much as I do, or maybe hate's a strong word for you, you just despise her and her snobbiness, give me a thumbs up in the live chat there if you would, if that's how you feel about Sharon Stone right there. But definitely a barely was, and definitely now a has been for sure. And Nobody 2 came in third at the box office in its debut weekend with a limp 9.3 million opening domestically. So pretty much in short, nobody went to see Nobody 2, except for critics like me and then people who don't know how to look up movie reviews, okay? I mean, there's a few people out there that just don't know how to look up IMDb or Critic Lists or what's the other one I like to go? Oh, Letterboxd. Sites like that to see if a movie's good to go or good to see right there, or you can watch my show, okay, and see if a movie is good right there. First off, the idea of a dad who was once an elite assassin, but who overcorrected the other way and became Gavin Newsom. A beta boy who was a disappointment to his kids and can't satisfy his wife's needs, but then rises like a phoenix out of the ashes to become his former badass self to protect his family was a refreshing, somewhat new idea, all right? Now, though, the luster has worn off of that, and the Nobody 2 filmmakers were going to have to come up with something fresh again and just as intriguing as a premise of the first film, and they failed. Ooh, we'll just reheat the tropes from the original movie in the microwave, but this time we'll serve it up in an amusement park. And they didn't even manage to make the big finale of taking on the stock run-of-the-mill goon squad at the amusement park near as good as the amusement park finale that we saw in Zombieland, all right? And I have to touch on this about the dynamic between Hutch and his family. It sets some new cringeworthy levels of awkward, if I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. And that's what I try to do on the show, be completely honest with you. Oedenkirk and Nielsen have sub-zero amounts of chemistry, all right? Now, call me cold, but I was not exactly praying for the family's safety during this. I mean, I had the mentality of like, well, if the baddies get them, well, you win some and you lose some, okay? That was my mentality through this movie here. I mean, I just was not endeared to the family whatsoever here as I adjust my posture and sit more upright, like my mother taught me to do when I was a child here. So there we go. I love this. All right, here we go. And let's check this out here. And yeah, Liberated Podcast. There you go. Exactly. Yeah. You park your car in the same garage that I do when it comes to our thoughts on Sharon Stone. That's for sure. There, and I got a feeling a whole lot of people feel that right there. I mean, it's like, you know, she's stupid enough to think, oh, hey, I'll just insult people into my way of thinking. You're like, oh yeah, that always works. Like, just insult people, you know, until they start thinking like you do. But no, that's just gonna solidify and make them dig in harder. And you know, and if you have the opposite political worldview of Sharon Stone, you should dig in harder into your political worldview. That's for sure. So don't be that person. Don't find yourself agreeing with Sharon Stone politically right there. If you do, you got problems. Okay, that's for sure. All right, everybody, enough about Sharon Stone. That's the last mention she's going to get of me in this show. That's for sure, and I'm sure you guys are happy about that. But now on to bigger and better things, like Brew Review Time. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let me introduce you to the brew for today. And that is one Shell's Brewery Lake Escape Kolsch style ale there. And this comes to us from New Ulm, Minnesota. Okay, that's probably where you know, some guys named Jorgensen, like, you know, Sven and Ole Jorgensen probably live up in New Ulm. All right, and they probably like to eat hot dish and drink some Green Belt beer and all that stuff. As I stereotype every Minnesotan. I should leave that for the Coen brothers right there in Fargo there. But no, I mean, back to the actual topic at hand here, the Lake Escape Kolsch style ale from Shell's Brewery. This is pretty much, it's got like a good citrusy foundation to it, very solid citrusy foundation to it, and it's not overpowering with the citrus flavor. Okay, so like I said, when I say it has a solid citrusy foundation, I'm not saying it's overpowering, like it's too in your face, nothing like that. No, it's subtle, and it's complimentary, and it's clean, it's crisp. And as I realize I'm really like kissing the ass of this beer, I should preface that by saying I'm not getting any money from Shell's Brewery or anything like that. Okay, so this is a completely objective review right here. And it has a conservative amount of hops, as most Kolsch style ales do. Okay, it comes in the IBU, or the International Bitterness Units rating, at a 22, which is not very high, which is perfectly fine. It's a you know, characteristic of this type of brew here. It comes in at 4.5 for the alcohol by volume, so it's a light drinking beer. Okay, it's something that you can drink, you know, 2, 3, whatever. I mean, if you're a seasoned beer drinker like me, you're going to drink quite a few of these to feel any kind of effect. All right. So, but not that I'm encouraging, you know, mass consumption of beer, just for the sake of mass consumption of beer. Okay. So some people overdo it. All right. You know, hey, but sometimes, you know, you're in a party mode, or you're on a bass boat and you're in the middle of the hot sun. You got to cool yourself off. And well, I got to be totally honest. Beer is probably not the best beverage to cool yourself off in the hot sun. Probably want to kind of like offset it. You know, every other beer you have a water or something like that with it, and that kind of thing. But all that to say is you should get yourself some Shell's Lake Escape there for whatever situation, whatever event you're a part of right there. And then the nose on this thing, it's got like a good citrusy nose to it. And dare I say, it's kind of partnered with a nose like a scent of molasses almost there. But I don't think there's any kind of molasses there. It's just kind of like something of the I don't know. I'm gonna stay with molasses with this right here. But again, like I said, it's a good light drinking beer here. It's not gonna knock you on your butt or anything like that, unless you drink about 100 of them there. And I would not do that. So there you go. Not encouraging you to do that. But I'm going to start with drinking this one here, and I'm going to drink a little bit out of this right now. Here we go. All right. Pretty darn tune. It's a good darn beer out of Minnesota. There we go. Well, yeah, Shell's Lake Escape Kolsch style ale there. And yeah, you can do a whole lot worse there for the brew with that up in Movies Merica Live right here. And so it's time to wrap up this brew review time. Okay, let's move on here with this Nobody 2 flavored version of Movies Merica Live up in this hizzy. All right. Real quick here, just let me mention to you that we do have this thing called Movies Merica merch. Okay. And the way you can get yourself, get your hands on some Movies Merica merch is to click on the merch link down below. Okay. Down in the description. Pardon me. There's that beer burp there in a very classless way. I can't promise you won't hear a couple more of those during the episode in this show. If I do, I'm probably just going to pull when I burp right there. I'm just going to use that to cover up my burps. All right. Yep, I had to do it again because I had another burp right there. But yes, go down and click on the merch link in the description. And some examples of some merch you can get are like a Movies Merica t-shirt. You get yourself a Movies Merica shot glass, pint glass, smartphone cases. You get yoga pants. I mean, a bunch of stuff. I mean, you get jewelry there. If you're a terrible husband and if you feel like getting your wife some Movies Merica jewelry for your anniversary, hey, that's your prerogative. It's your couch that you're going to be sleeping on if you do get that for your wife for your anniversary. So they're probably better to get her something else right there. All right, there you go. So it's down there. Movies Merica merch link in the description. Okay, get yourself some merch right there. And then it doesn't matter how much merch you buy. You can buy $18 of merch or $1,800 worth of merch, as long as you put in promo code movies in the promo code field. If you order $1,800 worth of merch, you're still going to get all of that shipped to you for the low cost of $0. Yes, free shipping there for you, thanks to the promo code movies right there. So yeah, get yourself some Movies Merica merch right there. It's a good conversation starter too, because I mean I've worn my Movies Merica merch, my Movies Merica t-shirt out and about, and a couple times, I've had people say, "Ooh, Movies Merica." I like saying that. It's kind of rolls off the tongue. I like the alliteration of saying Movies Merica. Hey, what is Movies Merica? Okay. And so I've heard that a couple times, and that's why I named it Movies Merica, because I like the alliteration of saying that. It's very easy to say. It rolls off the tongue. And so it gave me the opportunity to let people know about, my show and what it is. And then I had them bust out their phones and showed them like where you could find Movies Merica on Rumble and YouTube. And most people, they don't know Rumble from Bumble. Okay. They have YouTube. So I had to show them where the show's on Rumble or on YouTube right there. But you know what? Hey, that reminds me, like, just if you don't know what Rumble is, go out and just go to your app store on iOS or Android and just get the Rumble app, okay, on your phone. It's very easy, okay. And I think you have to I think you have to give your email and set up a password, But that's it. I mean, there's a million apps you have to do that on. It takes you 5 minutes tops, okay, if you're very, very, very slow there, But that's just so you can have an account on Rumble, and you can make yourself a nice little picture on Rumble for your little account, and you can you can save videos to your account, all this stuff. And that's only a one-time thing. So go get on Rumble, and again, it's just a matter of like going to your iOS app store or your Android app store and just looking for Rumble. There you go. That's very easy. And then that way, once you get Rumble on your phone, hey, just look up Movies Merica, and then you're probably going to see more than one Movies Merica account on Rumble. And feel free to follow all of them. Okay, so there you go, and you will not be sorry. Okay, there you go, because that's just more ways to catch this very show right here. And isn't that wonderful? Oh yes, there you go. And Liberated Podcast. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, nobody knows what Rumble is, even people from my generation. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean, I was talking to some boomers the other day, and then I was out on Friday night at the bars and talking to like some college students, and one of them was like, "Hey, man, you got a voice like a radio announcer or a sportscaster or something like that." And then that basically gave me the opening I needed to let them know that I do this show. And then I said, yeah, the show's on Rumble, because I try not to. You mentioned YouTube, because I'm trying to get people to stop watching my show on YouTube and go to Rumble instead. And some college hottie was like, she looked like she was like 19, 20 years old. She's like, I don't know what Rumble is, and then I proceeded to, hey, get your phone out. And I had her download Rumble on her phone, and now she's following my show on Rumble. And so, it's got to do that. And I did the exact same thing for the boomers that I met a few weeks ago, and they didn't know what Rumble was. And so I just got them on their phones, had them download the Rumble app. They set up their accounts, took like 2 minutes. They found Movies Merica, and now they are part of the Movies Merica cult. I mean, they follow the Movies Merica show. I mean, yeah. There we go. I don't serve Kool-Aid here, so you don't have to worry about it. This show is completely Kool-Aid free. That's for sure. All right, everybody, let's move on to some random thoughts about Nobody 2 there, okay, because I always have random thoughts. And my first random thought about Nobody 2 is Colin Hanks is in this. And, of course, Colin Hanks is one of the sons of Tom Hanks. And so Colin Hanks is in this, and he is miscast badly as a dirtbag, corrupt sheriff in this small town of Plummerville, that has the amusement park and the water park and all that stuff. Kind of think of it as like a crappy version of Branson, Missouri, something like that, right? But not quite as big. And, Colin Hanks being in this role, it's just another role that convinces us again that nepotism is one of the many scourges of Hollywood there, okay? And then another random thought I have is not even the stunt work is great in Nobody 2. And it's done by the same stunt team that does the John Wick movies and did the stunt work in the first Nobody movie. And that team is called the 8711 Action Team, okay? And it was started by Chad Stahelski, who has directed like most of the John Wick movies. I think David Leitch, who helped him direct the first John Wick movie and went on to direct like Bullet Train and The Fall Guy and Atomic Blonde, and a number of other folks that got together and they collaborated. They created this 8711 Action Team. And so they did the stunts in this movie. The stunts aren't even that great. I think they phoned it in as well. And then this movie does have Daniel Bernhardt, who's a regular in these movies where the John Wick crew, like David Leitch and Derek Kolstad are involved. Okay, and Daniel Bernhardt, he plays Sharon Stone's main goon in this, and of course he was in the very first John Wick movie. He was in one episode of what's that show I'm trying to think? Barry, the show Barry on HBO. He was in one of the episodes of that show right there. And Daniel Bernhardt, when you see him, you'll be like, oh yeah, that guy right there. And so then he also, like I said, he played one of Sharon Stone's main goons in this. Oops, I said I was not going to mention Sharon Stone again. Anyway, so what? That's incidental. But also Daniel Bernhardt, he also played one of the goons on the bus in the first Nobody movie who got his ass kicked by Hutch there. So, but yeah, Daniel Bernhardt's good. good stunt actor there. But those are just some random thoughts I had about Nobody 2 up in here. All right. So, and let me take a minute here to let you guys know and remind you that I, of course, I'm going to have my Movies Merica spoiler warning show as usual this Thursday night. And that comes on at 7 Eastern, 6 Central, 5 Mountain, and 4 Pacific. And, I don't know if you guys heard that. I had like a text come through right here. And, yeah, I got this text in here. I don't know if you guys get this or where you guys are at, but I got one of those fake junk texts right there where it says like, you have got a road violation with the Department of Motor Vehicles, and you have an outstanding traffic ticket, and you better go to this website and give us all your credit card information and your bank account information. That's one of the texts that I just got now in the middle of the show right there. And yeah, and let me know in the live chat or let me know in the comments down there if you're watching the show later on, if you ever get one of those stupid ass texts like that, like you have a traffic ticket with the Department of Motor Vehicles with blah 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 states, and you better pay it now, otherwise you're gonna get penalties. And I've gotten those from like many different states. But anyway, you guys didn't tune into this show to hear about that. I was in the middle of telling you that yes, this Thursday night I'll have my Movies Merica spoiler warning show, and I'll be going over Nobody 2 in more depth. Okay, I'll be doing a deep dive on the show, but I will not be doing it alone. Okay, this Thursday night, I will not be doing the Movies Merica spoiler warning show alone and going and talk about Nobody 2 by myself. Now, I will have a special guest, and my special guest is none other than the movie critic Christian Toto. Okay, and Christian Toto, you may have seen him. He's been on Fox News. He's been on the Adam Carolla podcast there. He's the author of the great book Virtue Bombs: How Hollywood Got Woke and Lost Its Soul. I've had him on the show here before, and we've had a great time here. And I was like, I've been really wanting to have Christian Toto back on the show here, and so he is doing me the honor of joining me this Thursday night there on Movies Merica spoiler warning. So join me and Christian Toto this Thursday nights. Talking about Nobody 2 right there. And then check out Christian Toto on Rumble and on, I don't think he's on Rumble, on X. That's what I meant to say. Check Christian Toto on X. He might be on Rumble, but I know he's on X. So check out Christian Toto. So Toto spelled just like the lame 80s band and Dorothy's dog. Okay, there you go. All right, so we've got important business to attend to up in here. There in Movies Merica Live, the show for today. And this is when I do my normal segment of letting you know, is this movie a woke after-school special? And I have to say, nope. It's its one redeeming quality. That's it. No woke in this movie whatsoever. Thank God into this. So, all right. And real quick, let me just take a minute here. I'll let you guys know that if you do appreciate me doing things like I just did, where I give you a heads up as to whether a movie is a woke after-school special, or you appreciate me just giving you a heads up on whether a movie is good or bad, so that you don't go out there and waste your hard-earned money and you don't waste your hard-earned time. Let me rephrase it. So you don't waste your time, okay? Because time is the only thing, or one of the only things that they're not making any more of, right? Well, if you appreciate that enough to throw maybe $1 or $2 my way, or 10 or 15 or 100 or whatever, well, you can definitely do that, whether you're watching me on Rumble right now or YouTube, okay? And the way you do that on Rumble is very easy. So if you fire up the live chat window, or if you're already in the live chat window, down by where you type in your live chat message there's a button with a $sign on it. And you just got to click on that, and it'll just bring up a window that asks you how much you want to throw this guy's way. And that's it. Very easy, okay? So just because you click on that $sign button, that doesn't commit you to donating anything. You can always click out of the little window that pops up if you change your mind. And then if you're checking me out on YouTube, you can do that as well. It works very similarly to the way it works on Rumble. down by where you type in your live chat message there on YouTube. Just look for the button with a dollar bill on it, and it'll again just ask you how much you want to donate, and that's it. Very easy peasy lemon squeezy over there. Okay, absolutely. But again, that's just if you feel like doing it. If not, hey, I just appreciate you guys watching the show live. I definitely appreciate good folks like Liberated Podcast and Beyond Formal getting up in the live chat there. So that's enough for me. But hey, if people want to go above and beyond and throw a couple of shekels my way, that's all good. But no guilt on giving from me to you if you just don't feel like doing it. That's all good. All right. But my final thoughts as I get ready to wrap up this Movies Merica live episode all about Nobody 2 is don't go see Nobody 2. Okay. Don't waste your money at the theater. Let's send a message to Hollywood. Stop making crappy sequels like this. Stop making cinematic turds like Nobody 2. Stop. All right. Just take a time out. All right. Just stop making them. Okay. And go see something more. Go see something original, like Weapons. Okay, like Weapons that came out last week, right there. It's R-rated, so yeah, you can't take your kids to that right there. But if you can get a babysitter, or if you don't have kids, what are you waiting for? If you don't have kids, go watch Weapons if you haven't seen it already. It's a great original movie. You will not be sorry that you saw that. Go see a movie like that. Send Hollywood a message. Say we want great original movies like Weapons. And Weapons is so good. It took the number one spot at the box office again this week for a second week in a row. A $40 million horror movie, okay, took the box office 2 weeks in a row. Okay, it beat out the new release Nobody 2. It beat out Freakier Friday. Okay, so go see Weapons. It's fantastic. Okay, I see some Oscars coming for that movie right there. May not be very many because it's a horror movie, and Oscar voters are very snooty when it comes to horror movies. But I think they're going to have no choice but to throw some Oscar love the way of Weapons right there. So yeah. So my final thoughts on Nobody 2 is don't go see Nobody 2. Go see Weapons. Okay, go check it out there as soon as you possibly can there. So, but hey, I just want to ask you that if you would follow me on all the platforms that I am on. Okay, I'm on Rumble. Okay, and you're going to see like a few Movies Merica accounts on Rumble. And hey, just feel free to follow all the Movies Merica accounts. I think there's like 3 at this point. So it's not hard to click on all 3 and just click the old follow button there on all 3 of those. I'm on X under @Movies Merica. Please, I would love it if you'd follow me. And then, hey, let me know that you followed me. And I will follow you back. I'm on Facebook under Movies Merica or Van Eberts. Okay, you can follow me there as well. I'm on Gab. Check me out on YouTube. It's under Till Death Podcast Network on YouTube there. It's a little harder to find me on YouTube. But yeah, and again, if you follow me on any of those platforms, yeah, DM me or direct message me is what that stands for all the boomers out there. DM me on X on my @Movies Merica account and just let me know, hey, Van, I followed you on this account, that account, that account, that account, that account, that account, that all those accounts. All right. Let me know that you follow me on all those accounts, and I will follow you on all those accounts right there because it's only right. Okay. You did me a solid. I'm going to do you a solid right there. Okay. So, okay. Well, let's double check everything. Make sure that I've got everything in order. Yeah, because that's what we're all about is order in here in Movies Merica Live. And I think we are good to go. So, as always, people, get out there. Those movies aren't going to watch themselves. See ya. Howdy, my movie maniacs and my fellow freedom-fueled film fanatics. Would you do me a favor and check me out at solo.to/Movies Merica? That's where you would go for a one-stop shop for all the links that have to do with me, Movies Merica. And then also, if you want to check out the audio-only podcast versions of my Movies Merica live episodes, that's my spoiler-free reviews that I do on Sunday, you can go to moviesmerica.com or Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, places like that. And then, actually, if you would also check me out on the social media sites like X and Instagram and Facebook and Gab. And I'm on those locations all under @Movies Merica. So it is very easy to find me out there, all right? So get to it, everybody. All right, thanks for watching. Later.
Hey guys, don't leave the video quite yet. Okay, I've got the popo. They're coming after me, and I don't have much time to tell you, but you need to like and subscribe this video right here, down below. It's right down there. It's just waiting. It's waiting for you down there, okay? And make sure you watch these videos over here too. You'll be doing me a big favor. I'm gonna be in handcuffs pretty soon. All right, thanks for watching.